I try very hard. I try very hard to be grateful for everything I have in my life. Everything from the car I drive to, the things I do for fun to my job. But sometimes it just feels like you're forced to be grateful. You know what I mean? Like, you try to be grateful because society tells you you have to be. This is in relation to my job because I have a good paying job. The job pays well. Could it pay more? Sure, it could pay more. It always can. There's never enough money. But like regardless of pay, if you're in a position where you just you don't feel satisfied, you don't feel happy, you don't look forward to the things that you're doing, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week at least, like that's a minimum 40-hour work week. It could often be more for most people. It has a fucked up effect on your mental health. Anyway, I think this is something that a lot of people, within my age group, I'm gonna be 25, so within my age group, struggle with. Like, we're young to the point where we're still trying to, work out our experience. We're still trying to gain that knowledge that helps you get ahead in the workplace. And for me personally, I've talked about it before on the channel, like, working a 9-to-5 has never been my goal. It never has been. It pains me to say that a part of me knows I'll never be fully satisfied until I'm working for myself, until I have my own business, until I'm doing whatever the hell I end up doing with my life. Because I don't know. Again, 25. That said, like, there's something that's so crushing, soul crushing about doing things that you really don't care about. When you're disengaged and you hear all these, people asking for things and it just sounds like fucking nonsense in your head. And like, you're just trying to do the best that you can because it's still your job, and you don't want to do poor work, and you want to earn your wage, or you want to make sure that everybody else on your team is straight, and all of that while trying to deal with the fact that you really don't want to be there. But what else is there to do, right? Like, I've submitted applications elsewhere, I've tried applying, and it's always some bullshit, happens, and someone else had a better experience, or it wasn't quite what we were looking for, and nobody's willing to take a chance on someone that's young. But how can you gain experience if no one's willing to take a chance on you? So like, it doesn't even make sense, And again, like I said, my thing is that I want to do my own thing. But how do you find that thing that you want to, dedicate your life and try to make some money doing? Like, it's really difficult to narrow it down, especially being young, and I guess maybe not having like a specialized skill in a particular thing. I'm very much like a generalist, I have all these different skills in all these different areas. And so it's like, I want to have my own business. What do I base this business on? What can I do? I don't have that answer, unfortunately. I don't. Just having a job that you do not like in general, that you don't find enjoyment in, is soul crushing. It takes the life out of you. It takes away all your motivation. It kills my creativity. Like, sometimes I really struggle with these YouTube videos because all I can think about is like, oh my God, I gotta go to work again tomorrow and sit there for 8 hours a day and do all this work that I don't enjoy doing, that's not fun, that has no meaning behind it. My break's about to be up, but maybe I'll finish this when I get off work. Okay, I'm home now. My work day ended. I'm a little calmer now, but overall the sentiment remains the same, right? Everything that I was just talking about, like, it's draining. And it's not like I don't like working, with YouTube and my job, I work a lot, truthfully. I work probably more than most people. And when I'm actually doing tasks at work that I enjoy, like, time passes by fine. I enjoy being there. I enjoy that portion of my day or whatever. I actually really used to like this job when I first started, but things have just kind of changed over time. And, well, I don't know about changed, but at least now that I've been there longer, I've seen more about the way that things operate. I've experienced more of it, and it's just not something that I enjoy. And don't get me wrong, like, I talked about being grateful earlier. Like, I am grateful for my job. Like, I'm grateful that I have a job, that I am employed, that I have income, right? But it's gotten to a point where that's really all it is. Like, it's just a job. I don't find engagement in it. I don't find meaning in it. It's just a job. It's that simple. Like, I'm there, I do my tasks, I get out. But in that same vein, like, my tasks have changed to the point where a lot of what I'm doing now isn't really what I even signed up for. Like, it's evolved into this, and they're like, oh, well, like, there's a lack in this area, so that's what you're gonna be doing now. And I don't necessarily mind the different responsibilities. I'm adaptable, I'm flexible, I can shift to whatever you need me to do. But what bothers me more than anything is that I have no control over my work. I have no say in what I'm doing. I have no say in what's considered good or bad, even though I know what my level of work is, and I have no control over my time. Anyway, I don't normally like to make videos like this where I'm, I guess, being vulnerable. That's something I really struggle with, opening up. But the reason I decided to record this was, for one, I needed to vent my frustrations. But more than anything is that there's a couple of lessons to be learned, or just tips that I wanted to share out of this. First and foremost, it's that not every day is going to be a good day. As much as I like to come on here and give advice to you and share insights that I've learned along the way, I struggle with things. I have my daily struggles. This is probably one of the biggest ones for me right now, and it has been for a while. And as much as I try to be grateful about things, this is one that I have to be very intentional about it. Of course, there's the money side of things, which is whatever. But I also try to think about, like, is there a lesson that I'm meant to be learning here? Like, what is this trying to teach me? Is there someone I'm supposed to help here that I haven't gotten around to it? I'm a believer. I believe in God, so I believe that anywhere you are in life, you're placed there for a reason. Whether that be to learn something, to help someone else, to teach someone something. So I'm sure there's something about this whole experience that I'm struggling with right now that's meant to help elevate me, but it's very hard in the moment to see that. So actually, after I finish recording this, I'm gonna go do some gratitude journaling so I can try to get that out. But yeah, not every day is a good day, so that's something just to keep in mind, that even your favorite YouTubers, other people that are out there, they all have their struggles. Everybody struggles, and that's the reality of it. All right, the second thing is that sometimes you just gotta embrace the shittiness. Now, obviously, we all have bad days, and sometimes you really just have to embrace them. They say that trees can't grow without a little rain, and people can't grow without a little pain. I made that last part up. But it's the truth, you just gotta deal with this sometimes, man. Not every day's gonna be a good day, and sometimes you just gotta suck it up. You're in the middle of it already, so you might as well make the most of it. And that is hard, man. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it's something simple, to deal with all the shit that you're going through, but, sometimes you really do just have to try to look at everything in a positive light and just look for, like, a learning opportunity or something here and there. Because if you don't, life is just gonna be sad all the time, because, some days suck. I also really do recommend talking to somebody about it. I'm gonna talk to my wife when she gets off work. I'm here venting to you guys in a sense. And I've never done therapy before, but this whole situation has really made me think that maybe it's something that I need to start doing, both for the sake of my mental health and for the sake of hopefully helping me navigate this whole situation, and maybe doing this will help me sort of align myself better to where I can figure out what it is I want to start a business on or something. I don't know. They're just thoughts that I'm going through, but yeah, talk to somebody about it. And the last thing I want to talk about is just always be hopeful, always look forward to when things get better, because they will get better. Like the late great rapper Tupac said, for every dark night, there's a brighter day. You gotta be looking for the light at the end of the tunnel, the sunshine after the rain. Because things do get better. I really do believe that. I think things are gonna get better. I think things are looking up. I think, I'm in a tough spot right now, but I think it's because better things are coming. And do I have a whole lot of evidence to support that? No, not really. But I choose to believe that because, it's something that if I don't, I'm just gonna go crazy. Truthfully, things always work out in the end. There's this quote. I really don't know who said it, but it goes something like, "Things always work out in the end. If things haven't worked out, then it's not the end." I think that's a good way to look at life, because you have to stay optimistic. If we're not positive about things in life, then how would we ever have motivation to do anything? How would you find any meaning in life if you're not being positive about it? How are you ever going to have the energy to get things done, or to go after your dreams, or to chase after the thing that you really want and hang in there until you get to see things work out? Funny enough, this whole idea of having motivation to keep going actually reminds me of another quote by, I think it was Winston Churchill who said it, but it goes, "If you're going through hell, keep going." Staying positive, it's going to help you to push past the situation that you're currently in. It's going to drive you to put in the work so that you can get out of the slump. But if you don't stay optimistic, then the chances of it happening are probably very slim, because you're just going to kind of give up on life. So don't lose hope. Grab onto any little bit you have, because sometimes it's really all you have. Anyway, I don't really know how to end this video. It's very different than anything I've ever made. A lot more raw, probably, a lot more vulnerable. But one thing I do want to do is actually ask you all for a favor. Usually I'm the one that's sharing advice or sharing things that I've learned on my journey. But most of my videos are aimed at people like 18 to 24-ish, people my age or younger. So there's older people out there, that have gone through something like this. If there's any advice you can offer me, leave it in the comments. Or even if you're young, you know, if you've dealt with something like this and you're a young person, kudos to you. Leave me some advice in the comments. You know, I'd love to read anything you have to say. Anything helps, really, you know. Actually, I forgot how I want to end this. There's this Bible verse which I just looked up because I couldn't remember the exact passage. It's Romans 8:18, and it says, "I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed to us." So just keep that in mind, you know, because the struggles we're experiencing in this moment are nothing compared to the great things that are coming for us. You know, after our hard work, after our dedication, the good things are coming, and that'll make this all seem worth it. So with that, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.